Sure did. It's the 441 Martians. Peace, blessings. Y'all come on in here. Let's tap in. We got Occult movies on the docket today. Yeah, we got a brand new program. Deep dive with Wise Eye. You know what I mean? We're gonna tap into storytelling, the arts of storytelling, and we're gonna, unfold the actual meanings to movies. We watch movies or watch TV shows. We listen to music. These different things are unseen energy that are being pushed, that are pushing this out to us. Because we got to remember everything is a spiritual being having a physical experience. So anything that's spiritually existing, we are manifesting it onto this reality on this plane of existence, on this 3D realm. You feel me? So what I wanted to do was package up movies, and I wanted to just go into the deeper meanings, the symbolisms, the stories, and break down how they operate. But first I wanted to, plant the introduction. So we're gonna speak about a few things in this presentation today, and we're gonna understand why is it important to find unseen meaning. Why couldn't they have just put it in the front of our face? Why they couldn't just spell it out at Target and everybody know the actual meaning? That's what we want to tackle today. So let's jump right into it. Why is there occult meanings, and why is there symbolisms, usages, and these such language? Why does it have to be deciphered? For one, a lot of these things are intimately intertwined with culture and the spirit of God, and getting to know God on a level that is intimate enough to not have a huge crowd, because the crowd usually does one thing: they all follow whoever is telling them what to do. But then there's another select amount of people that in the crowd that are off with their own mind, and they venture off to do their own thing. And those are the people that God has chosen to allow the unseen to be seen, if you understand what I mean. There's a verse, I think it's in Revelations, it speaks about the 144,000. I don't even know how they reference it. I'm not good at quoting the Bible, but I know it's 144,000 people, or 144,000 souls, beings. Israelites is what they may have said in the Bible, but they are the ones that can hear and understand the song. I think they refer to it as the message as a song. So they hear the song and they're able to decipher the actual meaning of the Christ within us. And we're able to shine that out on the rest of the beings on this earth, on this world, on this captivity. You feel me? First slide, let's get right into it. So, storytelling, the ancient priests and the Aboriginal shaman often told stories to portray the prophetic message of God, what have you, like I was just saying. Each religion all have a book or guide for spiritual ascension, just like the Bible, the Quran, or the Hermetic laws, the Kabbalah. We can keep speaking on it, the Taoism, the Judaism, all of these different aspects of religion have a book or a guidance or something to explain how to ascend in the spiritual manner. So movies and music are no different. Often they're told out of order and muddled with false info. So that's why I'm here. I want to begin to put these into perspective, because certain stories are told spiritually, but the perspective has to be guided in such a way that we understand where we fit into the story, because all stories are prophetic messages. We're ancient beings coming back to back to back in different lifetimes, reincarnating, gaining knowledge, reincarnating, gaining knowledge. It's a cycle. And we're all from source. And the original source has they have a story that's played out, and that story plays out time after time, storyline after storyline, in families all across the world. These are what you call prophetic messages living out in the 3D reality. So it's up to you to connect the dots, and your spirit usually helps you. Your spirit usually puts things in front of your face for you to gain knowledge of. That's if you're a priest. That's if you have the high priest energy, or that's if you have the chosen one energy, because a lot of times you could read the Quran, for example, for face value, and you can go make salat, and you can go through all of the motions of what it is to be a Muslim, but you may be stuck in one plane of existence because you do not allow yourself to access the kingdom by elevating in more of a manner of seeking. One seeks, one shall find. And that's what these religious books are trying to spark into you. They're trying to give you a discipline to go about understanding your spirit. And sometimes these religions can be muddled, or, the person in charge or the leader of the actual ministry, they may be misguided in such a way where they're misguiding their people. So it may be the blind leading the blind in some in some aspects of the religion field. So you want to keep these symbols, these symbolisms, the essence of what is actually being said. You want to keep it as pure as possible so that you can really get the message. You feel me? Next slide. So one example of a story is a very, very basic and tried and true story that you hear in every religion, every story that has a monumental peak, as if you're walking up the hill to the mountaintop, to the top of the mountaintop, and you saved the day. So the spiritual journeys always take the same path. Always, always, always the same path. And when I say the same path, it looks the same as far as initiate energy. Heru initiate journey. Excuse me. The hero comes from the underdog's corner and travels through many hardships to gain access to God's secrets and shines light on truth, wisdom, and new playing fields. So that's pretty much any movie that you can speak of. But Heru initiate journey is important because those come from the times of Thoth and the original deities in the source. We have different modalities that have transcended, after or even at the same time. I think the Orishas are some of the most original energies to resonate with, and that's why they're important to spiritual walks. But I'm just, I'm giving you the Heru journey, the Egyptian vibe for the moment. So we'll stay with Heru. But Heru comes in as a little boy. It could be baby Jesus too, but comes in as a little baby bird, and it learns how to grow through its spiritual help, and it becomes wise. And Horus is accepting the energy of Amun, the Amun Ra, the seen and unseen power of being. So that's the short version. Y'all go look it up, Google it, and get the exact energy, story, and transgression, so you can feel, the power of symbolism and really understand it. They're not talking about a bird, a man with a head on it. They're not talking about these specific things. They're speaking of symbolism and how these play into the reflections of your everyday life, because you understand that animals are reflections of us in some form, some fashion. That don't mean we're the same DNA or DEA as them. That just means that we have, that God has given us dominion over animals, and that's why they are in our command. That's why they reflect you in some form, some light, the way that they act in the savage manner, and then you can enlighten it with your 5-dimensional, 6-dimensional thoughts. So you don't stay in that savage energy. You gain another aspect of harmony with ascension. So these animalistic symbols, they're only giving you the aspect of to which to start from. And you start from there and you ascend. And I'm going to do a video on chakras and how astro plays into it. So if it's available on my playlist, look up there and see. Check it out after you get off of this one. But affectionately, these stories, they gain one's heart because this symbolizes the real life walk of ascension through a lifetime or even multiple. Initiation is required of all souls to prove their faith to the Most High, because God can't trust you with the keys to the beamer if you're going to crash that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? He got to know that you know what you're doing. Even if the Mack truck come flying in, are you going to swerve out the way in the correct fashion to avoid the collision? Because you got to be that slick with it to get into the kingdom of God, because you don't want the slick-witted enemies to gain one up on you, trick you, get you in a path of not knowing or understanding or understanding who you really are, getting you lost in the sauce. So access to the kingdom requires a will and a discipline. And a lot of times it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not for the weak. You know how you go up the hill or the mountain. If you ever went hiking, you may understand this. But when you get going up that hill, it's dry out there. It's hard, solid rock out there. You walking, ain't nothing giving. It ain't like a soft mattress, or it ain't like soft carpet. It ain't like a beach at the soft sand. Everything's just rough, rock hard, and you got to make your way all the way up. But when you get up, and even sometimes on the way up, you see beautiful views. You get beautiful downloads or energies that come your way as you climb and ascend a mountain. Quick story. Let me talk to you about the first time I did a big mountain hike, and this was just this year. I did my first big mountain hike this year. Me and my father. It was the most amazing thing. It was right before my birthday in April this year. So I set off 2023 with a bang. But we got in the car. Me and my pops met each other. I jumped in his car, and he drove up the hill of the mountain so that we can park, and then we can take our way on the path and walk the way up. So what I noticed was on the way up, I was getting like nauseous. I was getting sick. I was like, oh man, what is going on? I tried to like kind of focus and keep myself together. My pop's talking to me, and I'm like zoning out. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? I feel like I'm about to throw up. I'm getting dizzy. I never felt this before. So thank God, by the time we get to the parking lot, I have enough energy to be like, yo, can you pull over and let me out real quick? So I pull over and just sit down in the grass and get grounded, because I know I need some grounding. Like, man, what is going on? He goes and parks, and he has a little difficult time parking, but I was like nauseous, like seasick, but the mountain sick, I don't know what it was. Motion sick is definitely what it was. But I say that to say that sometimes the first time that you begin to ascend, it's hard, it hurts, it's painful. You might want to quit and don't even go up. But I sat there for a few minutes. My pop's looking and laughing and grinning. He like, man, you all right? I'm like, man, I feel like I want to throw up, but I can't. And I'm dizzy. I feel weird. I'm like, he like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, we still going to do it, blah, blah, blah. So I pushed through it the whole way up. I felt very, very like sick, man, like out of it the whole way up. that it was kind of kicking my tail, man. It was making me a little upset. Like I was like, yo, why I gotta get sick on this day? Why I had to get sick? But I started to understand that the fact that I was ascending in a physical way, it was getting me into a space of purification. So whatever it was, it purified me, and we got to a midsection of the mountain, and it was beautiful views. It was beautiful views. I thought we had made it. He looked at the map or the phone or something, and he like, no, we still got a mile and a half. I'm like, damn, we only halfway there. I'm like, whoa. So I had my little GoPro connected. I ran through like 2 or 3 batteries. Batteries gone. By the time I got to a certain level, we started to get into like the rocks where you like kind of digging through. So a certain point, it was like no cameras after this, y'all. You got to do this without showing off. And we just kept going, and people was coming down. They was like, "You're almost there. You're almost there." And and it felt like every person said, "You're almost there." It didn't matter how close you was. They said, "You almost there. You're almost there." And that's how spirit kind of treats you sometimes. They kind of give you that boost, like, "You're almost there, man. Keep going. I promise, you're almost there." So they ain't lying to you, but they give you that perspective, like almost could be anywhere. So spirit is funny. They'll play with you sometimes just to get you into right positions. They'll manipulate you a little bit, but they never doing nothing out of vain or out of a bad vibe. It's all in to get you in alignment. So you gotta have a discipline. You gotta be in faith to that spirit to get up that mountain to finally see. So the end of that story is we get all the way up to the top of the mountain, and oh my God, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm hungry as heck. I'm hungry. Pops got a little snack bag in the cut. I'm like, man, I left all my snacks in the car. Thank God. I don't know why I didn't bring my snacks. So we snack on something. I puff on a little, God's green earth, and my whole being just shifts. Like I don't feel sick no more. I feel new. Me and my pops have a great conversation. We pull the iPhones out, take selfies, take great pictures. The vibe was beautiful. We walked back down, and it was a long walk down now. You think once you up, you're like, shoot, we just gonna parachute down and rock out. It's still 2-3 hours back down, or not 2 hours. It's an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours both ways. It's like 4 or 5 hour hike. Yeah. So you going back down, you're like, man, that was a beautiful vibe up there. And it's easier going down, and then you telling people like, hey, you're almost there, man. Watch out for the that. So it's like God's working through you, telling the other people going up the mountain, how to hold your head up, keep going, you're almost there. So that's the spiritual path, and it's always the same. It may have different faces, different views, so because each religion and culture names their hero differently. The stories change, but the paths always remain. You feel me? Next slide. Heroes have many faces. These are some of the heroes. I just pulled this up off of Google. You can Google gods of different cultures, and you'll see different animals and entities and beings. You'll see 6-armed women, Durga, from the Hindi energy. You may see the elephant, that's Ganesh. You may see the dog Anubis. You may see Jesus Christ. You may see Sun, Amun. You may see Buddha. You may see Nimrod. You may see Odin. You may see Ogun. You may see the Mayans. So we can go all day. They're always different. Yours ain't right. Mine's ain't right. Yours ain't right. Hers ain't right. It's all about perspective, and everybody has a perspective of what God is, what it looks like, and how it should be. So affectionately keep your cultural stories near to you, because there's some type of message in there for you. So you want to start with your culture first, and then you want to expand yourself to other cultures, and you never want to be blind to the fact of how other people do their religious aspects or spiritual aspects, because they're all correlated and tied into one source. We're all source. From the source. It's all original source. You feel me? Next slide. So movies and music. 12th house energy. Now this is very interesting if you pay attention to astrology and what is in each house. Because when we're talking about movies and music, you're looking at the 12th house of the unseen. Now, the actors and the musicians, they could be a little more third house or fifth house. But the speech or the message or the story that is being told is more from the 12th house aspect because it's unseen. The 12th house rules the unseen, the spirit. The spirit speaks to anyone that will listen. Spirit has everyone on the that breathes on this earth. That's animals. That's white, black, ugly, dark, indigenous, not rats, moles, tigers, bears. Oh my, they all have a spirit. There's a spirit attached to it. Now, we're not talking about a soul. There's a soul as well, but there's only specific beings and entities that gather that energy of a soul. But we're talking about spirit, and spirit is attached to us all. Spirit has secrets to tell you. There's secrets in the 12th house. There's hidden speech. Spirit tries to speak your language, so there's always going to be a touch of just for you in there. There's going to be something in there to be like, oh, I resonate with that so much. Like I said, the Heru journey is so affectionate to our hearts. That's why they play it over and over and over and over again in these Hollywood movies or in any movies or any stories that you may speak of or hear about. There's a hero that has started from the bottom, then they get there, now we're here. That Drake energy. We love to see how Drake started from the bottom. Some little kid from Canada that acted on TV as Degrassi and magically ends up with Lil Wayne, Young Money, and he's rocking the crowds at stages. That story is near and dear to anybody who has a heart. Forget who it's attached to, but those stories are attached to a hero journey that we all are here to, tap into. So movies and music are powerful spiritual tools. No matter who is in production, it all comes from the same source and ultimately is manipulated through spirit. You feel me? So it don't really matter how you look at it. You want to always understand that spirits in the pudding. They in the recipe. Regardless of if it comes out of Satan's mouth, the Sexy Red's mouth. Some of it is in there, and maybe some of it is just to tell you the truth of the darkness or the bad side. Some of it's not so occult. Some of it's right in your face, and it's for you. It's easy enough for you to understand that side. But there's deeper levels to certain people's music and movies, not who I just spoke on, but like per se, a artist in an upper echelon of rapping. We'll speak on one of those people. So there's always a spiritual vibe with them. They always have a tapped in spirit because they're reaching for words that come from somewhere. I think Nipsey Hussle has a meme, or they done chopped up his interview to make it a meme. And he speaks on how music is spiritual and how you tap into some unseen and you bringing words down, you bringing a vision in for people to view and to feel and to experience with you. You bringing them to your world. That's all 12th house energy. So movies and music, they speak depths through you. 12th house has no limits. Anything goes. And it says in the corner, 12th house rules your spiritual and mental health, but has transformative capabilities. It also rules dreams or fantasies. Dreams or fantasies can be visions. Dreams and fantasies come from something. You got to understand that they come from something. They don't just exist. What is the Dungeons and Dragons, the Lord of the Rings, all these different stories, they exist in people's mind. And there's no limit to what you can experience or no limit to what you can create coming out of that 12th house. So that's why these movies and these just music is so good sometimes. Next slide. The importance of understanding what you digest. Music and movies have been hijacked by unethical beings that use these spiritual tools for destruction, i.e., drill music and pornography. We got to understand that certain things that we view, certain things that we listen to are not good for our psyche and not good for our being, and they have no occult meaning at all. They're strictly propaganda or destruction programs and viruses to infiltrate your importance and your understanding of self. To view or hear valuable digestion allows for downloads or upgrades or remembering self. But to view or hear destructive digestions allow for forgetting who you are or spell blinding or literal destruction. We don't want to operate in that type of energy. We want to keep valuable digestions. So we're going to get into movies and we're going to break down the importance of understanding what it's really trying to tell you, because there's great messages in a lot of movies and that really are propagating to your subconscious. When I say propagating to your subconscious, let's get into it. They're really promoting specific agendas to you so that your kids, when they're small, they can think that it's normal. Normalizing certain habits, ideals, if you will. And we won't speak on what, but you get what I'm saying. There's certain things that you don't want your kid to watch because it's going to influence them in a negative way. It's going to enhance the destruction, enhance the virus within their being, and now they're hijacked. And the unethical beings are influencing with our spiritual tools a destructive energy. So drill music and all that wild stuff, my eldest son, but he likes that stuff, and they just be man. So I took it upon myself to make music, create music, and my music is for the soul, for the spirit. I may still have cussing and fussing in it, but my message is very, very clear, and the subconscious always picks up on the message regardless if you're conscious dead or not. So we're speaking on subconscious energies and these movies and these things that we're going to tap into, and we're going to begin to break down. I just wanted to have, last slide, I just wanted to have a little breakdown on how important these things are and what you're looking for when you're watching movies. So we're going to get into it. This series might continue on my Patreon. I'm just now creating one, and I really want to get involved and with that side of it, so I can have my own ministry of energy. People can come directly to my source of enlightenment, and I can share the beauty of God, the beauty of how we're all divine beings. We all have a job. Some have different jobs. Some have more tried and true jobs. Some have more risky jobs. So it's all dependent upon who you are in the kingdom and what your job is. You have to identify with that, and we all have to work as a team. So I got future downloads. You can see what we're working with. That's just a few. I don't want to let y'all know everything I'm about to do, because people are jacking in and try to jump in there and do it before me. I'm on the low with it, but I promise y'all gonna get to know me, and we'll vibe real soon. You know what I'm saying? Friday series. Ooh, I can't wait. That's gonna be the first one. I'm gonna do the Friday series, and y'all like, what's a cult about the Friday series? We're gonna get into it, my boys and girls. It's gonna be fun, man. This is gonna be super fun. Spider-Man enters the Spideyverse. I don't even know if that's spelled correct, Spidey, but that's gonna be one that the kids like, and people all should understand exactly what they're trying to say to you in that movie. Soul is a Disney movie. It's a great movie. What's that? Jamie Foxx in that one. Excuse me. And those have great meanings, man. There's too many to name. I got a list already, and I'm going to just start recording, and I'm going to start putting together my presentation so y'all can enjoy something quality, man. We're not going to just keep talking about what they said on the red carpet last night and who got caught cheating in the shade room. And, like, man, don't nobody care, bruh. It's cute to know. You know, I like to know that stuff so I can stay connected to the culture, the bullshit rap culture, or bullshit, I ain't gonna say rap culture, but the bullshit black culture on the shade room culture. Because people relate with that shit so much. You got to kind of stay in the mix a little bit. So it's like Jesus going down there to see what them pimps doing, them prostitutes. Who gambling down here tonight? Give me the dice. Let me see what y'all doing. Shake them up real quick. You know, get out of there, though. Don't stay out. Don't stay in the energy. Don't let the energy stick to you, you know. My chosen ones know what I'm talking about. But stay tuned, y'all. I'm gonna tap in real soon. I'm gonna get these downloads to y'all so y'all can vibe out and know what we watching and why we watching. You know, don't just watch movies just to be entertained. You know, entertainment is defined, or the etymology of a distraction. You know, distraction is what entertainment is. So these entertainers, they're distractors from your truth. But what happens is there's a level of spirit fighting back, and there's a level of spirit needing to speak to you. There's a level of spirit getting the last laugh. So that's why these movies, they're getting a lot more telling, and the spirit is getting stronger, and the understanding of certain modalities in this world is getting more clear, because the Aquarian age is getting thick, and the knowing is getting apparent. There's no way for you not to know in the Aquarian age. So the next step of the Aquarian age is who's going to be able to do it the smartest without working the hardest. That's the next step. But y'all stay tuned. That's a whole nother conversation. Occult movies, deep dive with your boy Wise. Tap in, stay tuned. Love and blessings, y'all. One.